I scammed my fiancé of the money he was supposed to use as my bride price. Story time. So, guys, as you all know, I'm transitioning my hair from a relaxed hair to a natural hair, and this is how I wash my hair. So, I don't take down my braids first, I do the washing with my braids on. So, listen to the story and let's know your opinion in the comment section. In the year 2014, I met a man who I believe was the absolute love of my life. Both of us were so much in love, but we were still very tender. Let's call this man Zach. So as at the time Zach and I were meeting, I had this terminal health condition which would not allow me to take contraceptive. But because I was so much in love with Zach, I went to hell with my sickness, to hell with my sickness. I was madly in love with Zach, so I didn't take care of my health. Within the period of 2014 to 2020, I have already had four abortions for Zach, and in each time I had these abortions, it was Zach's idea because he said he was not ready to marry me since we were both quite young. The last abortion was quite intense that it messed up my health, and I literally spent the whole year in and out of the hospital. But I was finally out of the hospital and my health was stabilized. And as at this time, Zach started acting up and he decided to break up with me. So at that point, I felt like my life will never remain the same. I cried my life out every single day. I cried. Zach treated me so bad that each time I asked him why he left me, he acted as if I was a total stranger. To him, he said that the entire time we were just flirting, that nothing serious was actually between us, that I was never his girlfriend. Because I was still very much young, I didn't recall when Zach actually asked me to be his girlfriend. But the whole family knew us, everybody in the community knew us. Like we posted ourselves on Facebook every single time. So I cried. I never really thought that Zach took all of that as flirting, especially when he has promised me that he was going to get married to me immediately his finances get stable and we are old enough. Anyway, I picked out the remaining pieces of what was left from my broken heart and I decided to proceed with life. Until 2022 came when I met the absolute love of my life. So December 2022 brought me an amazing man. I would call him John. So John made it clear to me from the beginning that he was not looking for a girlfriend, but he was looking for a wife. Despite how genuine John was, I wasn't very much sure that I was ready to move into this relationship at this point. My heart was 100% back to normal. So I decided to give John a chance and he won it in this relationship. At this time, I did check through John's past to make sure that there was no woman, there was no girl in the picture anywhere. And luckily, John was as innocent as he seems. So dust off are like after 6 months into knowing each other, John was definitely sure that I was the bride that he was looking for and he was ready to go pay my bride price and we got engaged officially. So at that moment, I knew that I was ready to spend the rest of my life with John because I was never so sure about anything as to if I wanted to spend the rest of my life with John. So to cut the long story short, early this year, January, Zach reached out to me. He texted me saying that he wanted to get back to me and he was willing to do anything just to see that we get back together. Immediately I heard that he was willing to do anything to get back to me. It was as if the spirit of Jezebel just possessed me because at that point I felt like it was the right time to get back to him as for all that he has done to me. Remember, as all of this was going on, I was still very much engaged with John since my relationship with John was very much private this time. I've learned from the lesson of posting partners, so I kept my relationship with John secret. So it was easy for me to make Zach believe that I was still very much single and I was ready to mingle. The weather was just perfect for me to revenge all that Zach has done to me. So at this point, since he said he was willing and ready to do anything for me, I told him that I needed 2 million naira for a business I was working on. And Zach was actually struggling financially, so I knew it was going to cost him a whole lot, especially his business. So I didn't care because I just wanted to revenge. So Zach was able to get this money for me, and when I got the money, he sent the money into my account, and I was using it to make preparations for my wedding. So Zach, after paying the money, Zach said he wanted to come and meet my people, that he was ready to get married to me, and because I was already engaged with John, I had to fake parents. I paid people who acted as my parents, and they also collected another money from John. Collected 2 million as my bride price. Meanwhile, I didn't know these people from anywhere. I just got people who acted as my parents. Am I the asshole?